It's your boy Django again. Give you some reaction, thoughts, opinions on this Marco run club. It's United. I'm gonna start with Baldhead Woodward, the clown. That's where all the problem lies. The problem don't lie in the manager. Well, it does to a certain extent, but it's Woodward and his transfer dealings. Like Cavani and Tallis is not bad signings, let's be honest, but it's just how and the circumstances of how they signed Cavani, and then for a piss take, to take the piss, like just to show United fans they don't give a, you get me? They gave him the number 7. Like at United, the number 7 shirt is a shirt that you just throw around. The man ain't trying to be disrespectful to Cavani, but you don't just give the number 7 out to anyone, especially not to a player that's coming towards the end of his career, or literally at the end of his career. Probably won't play on after this season, but you never know. Number 7 should have been set for a young upcoming talent. And as for Tallis, I don't know why Tallis wasn't our main target. And I hear people saying now we wanted Reguilon. We didn't want Reguilon, and if you go and check and do your research, Reguilon got offered to us 2-3 days before he signed for Tottenham. Reguilon, one of them players that Real Madrid was going to sell. It just happened that they needed money at the time to do whatever. That's why they let him go and want a buyback clause. Reguilon wasn't for sale until at that point in time. And the only reason I think United didn't go for Tallis is because they thought Paris Saint-Germain would have went and got him. I'm happy that Tallis is there because I think he's a baller. I don't really know how good he is defensively. I can't say that, but I know how good he is attacking. I mean, he's a player I like for a hot minute. And therefore, definitely going forward, way better than what we got. And you might even see the best of Rashford now with Tallis there, somebody you can play football with and somebody you can actually occupy their winger or left back, because you wouldn't want to leave Tallis to cross a ball free. And Cavani will get goals, but Cavani, you're gonna sign another striker again for a year. Like, why not? Timo Werner, Solskjaer spoke to Timo Werner, so clearly he wanted Timo Werner, and for what, 50? Could have got Timo Werner, but because Woodward ain't capable of doing his job, we end up with second choice players. It's like Van der Beek is another one in a similar situation to what Reguilon was in. Van der Beek was destined for Real Madrid. Yeah, not that United need him, but when Real Madrid couldn't find the money to buy Van der Beek, he ended up at United. Not that I'm saying it's a bad buy, but it wasn't a position that needed strengthening. We paid 40 mil for him. You're telling me Ed Woodward or the people who's running United, or even the manager, you're telling me you wouldn't have just put, even offered that and Matic for Partey, which would have been a better suit because he's a CDM. But even in that position, I think, well, most United fan and the media, like, I think they talk a lot of macro about the CDM, because Fred should be playing in our midfield. Like I said this many a time and on many videos, he's more than good enough to play in our midfield. Tenacious little player. But I'm just saying, Van der Beek wasn't essential. And then I think it's Postri, I don't even know how to pronounce that kid's name. It's gonna end up paying like, I think it's gonna end up about 50 mil. My man there, yeah, Postri, yeah. We're gonna pay like 50 mil for him. We offered Dortmund in this transfer window. £91 million. Yeah. If my maths are correct, yeah, 91 plus 15 is 106. Dortmund wanted €108 for Sancho. So you're telling me you couldn't give Angel Gomez 30 grand a week, right? Not signed him, and we could have ended up with Sancho. Same goes for Traore. But Traore can be a baller. I mean, I hear that Alessandro Gomez talking about him, and like people know that I rate Gomez, and I follow him a little bit. Well, not a little bit, I follow him more than a little bit. And if he bigs him up, he's definitely got some talent. But yet again, we're left in the same position we was last season by Ed Woodward and his people. But yet we will still want the manager out, which, like I said, we may have a point to that, but the source of the problem is the board, Woodward and them. We can get Solskjaer out, and Poch comes in, which is what I've been saying this for like 2 years now or whatever. You can look at my old videos and that. Poch comes in. If Poch comes into the same environment that Mourinho, who is, for me anyway, is probably still the best manager, but everyone's got different opinion. Like they say, form is temporary but class is permanent. No centre back, even though Upamecano was there for 50 mil, and United knew they wasn't gonna put a good enough offer in for Sancho. But instead of cutting their losses or trying to minimize the damage, if they have got Upamecano and all these players that they've got in now, I don't think anyone would complain. But the fact that they didn't get a right wing or a centre back, that to me that shows lack of ambition from a club that's supposed to want to win titles. I mean, and I don't know how this approach goes, that you agreeing contract with players and agent, but yet to make an offer or agree terms or even inquire or even an inquiry into how much the club want for the player. Like, that sounds dumb to me. I'd rather go and talk to the club knowing that the club want to sell the player and what price they want, even though we knew that about Jadon Sancho. Then I know what I'm working with. But it comes down to the fact of the matter that Ed Woodward and his little boyfriend upstairs can't run the club. They're not capable of doing that. They don't understand football. They don't know the football inside or the footballing aspect of running a club. By all means, stay and do your job. Get all your advertisement, shirt deals and that. That's you. When it comes to signing players and that, you need to step aside and let somebody who can do that job do it, because you can't do it, and it's been proven over like a 12-year period. Because people are acting like it's only just happening. Don't forget, Fergie only signed Van Persie and one more player in like 2 years, but people forget that. These men have been running the club down into the ground for time. It's not just now. And I told you, man, from last season about Harry overpriced Maguire. But I ain't even gonna say nothing more on that case. I don't think it's worth any more of my time. And a matter of fact, that's a good subject to start on, to bring me on to this Solskjaer thing. This is how you know Solskjaer is a yes man, because Solskjaer had the choice between Koulibaly and Harry Maguire. But because the English press and all these players, playing buddies, all say Harry Maguire because he had an okay World Cup, with England, not a good World Cup, but okay World Cup with England, you had the easy path through. Guarantee Belgium had England's path through, they would have been into the final. But you know, it's Ariola, Price, Maguire, and that's Solskjaer's choice because he had the choice, right? So that's his choice to go for Harry Maguire over Koulibaly, or Koulibaly, however you pronounce my man's name. So can't blame nobody. You can't blame no Ed Woodward or nobody for the different frailties right now but Solskjaer. He had the choice, Harry Maguire or Koulibaly. Man picked Harry Maguire, so now we can suffer with the consequences. I don't mind Iceman Lindelof. I think the English press put most of the blame on him, trying to protect Harry Maguire. I do not have a problem with Lindelof. Wan-Bissaka has been missing since lockdown. I don't know. I'm not blaming Luke Shaw. I'm blaming the the defensive centre back. I'm blaming the captain who can't organise his defence, because obviously, let's start from there. Because if you're centre back and that's all over the place, if you see Luke Shaw is out of position and you're captain, not even if you're captain, if you're a centre back and you see your left and right back out of position, you call them in. If they drop too far back, you call them up. That's even in amateur football that goes on. So if you're the captain and the centre back and you can't see that, I think that's where the problem lies. I think Luke Shaw is a good left back. I think if Mourinho throws you to the curb and you bounce back from it, that shows mental strength as well. So I don't mind Luke Shaw one bit. I think with good centre backs in front of him, it'll be different. And you never know. That might be what's putting De Gea off his game as well. Not that I'm saying when Mourinho was there and he had Smalling and Bailey. Like, I don't know, because like I keep saying, yeah, Smalling to me is a better defender than Harry Maguire, and I will stand by that even now. So you never know. That might be it. De Gea might be looking in front of him and think, who the hell are these guys? But obviously, as the goalkeeper, if anything slotted, he has made a lot of mistakes though, like individual. But if you don't feel comfortable with the defenders in front of you, let me. And Solskjaer still the same system, no tactical change, no pattern of play, nothing. He's like a dog that's on his dying legs and you're trying to teach a new trick. That's what it seems like to me, because you cannot look at that squad and tell me that this guy should be getting beat 6-1 and struggling to, well, I think you drew that game in 90 minutes and got a lucky penalty against Brighton and then got beat off Crystal Palace. You can't look at that team and tell me there's not enough quality in that team to be beating these teams, or at least getting a fight. And I know for the fact, yeah, Bruno can easily play there, and Paul Pogba, who's playing too deep next to a tower, like, it don't work. So change it, try something new, try something new. Stop coming with the same thing all the time. Predictable formation, predictable player selection. Everybody knows your team before you even pick your own team. Why can't we set up like this? Why can't we set up like that? Bruno as the RM, Pogba in the 10, Rashford more wider, Van den Beek and Fred more energy already in the team. That's not a static team, that's a mobile team. Yes, Pogba is a little bit slow on the turn, but when he's up here it don't matter. And I'm guaranteed Bruno can play from there. If Bernard Silva can play from there at City, Bruno can play from there. And Bruno can deliver crosses. And you could try that this game without Marshall in it, because then you got Cavani who will be in the box. So if you got people like Bruno and that you can deliver, and you got Pogba who will go into his feet, it's like just basic football knowledge though. You can't be pragmatic and pick the same formation week in week out, no matter what or how good you are, or the same formation with the same personnel. You have to change up, even if it's 1 or 2 personnel a game. You're playing the Matic, yeah. Like Matic can't be playing week in week out. We shouldn't be playing Matic against Crystal Palace and Brighton. A matter of fact, I don't even think we should be playing Matic over Fred, which I've been saying week in week out. But you can't tell me this team he should, like, yes, he didn't have Cavani, but I don't say. Alright, let me put Marshall in. You're telling me that a team like that should be getting beat 6-1 at home if it's coached proper, set and organized? No way. But we'll see in it. We'll see if Solskjaer change anything or it goes with the same formation again. And that's all I want to say. I'm gonna go live a little later, starting a fresh career mode, United.